One of the hardest things to talk about or to even go through is suffering. That is when we question everything, but particularly when we question God's existence. In our suffering, no matter what kind it is, whether it's the loss of someone that we loved or we're going through something traumatic, we have a hard time making sense of anything. We have a hard time understanding how God could allow something like this to happen to us or to those that we love. We may throw blame. We may use that as the reason to not believe anymore. But it's during our suffering when we need God's strength the most. We need Him in everything, of course, in everything we do, in our everyday, whether we're having a good time or a hard time. We should always go to God with everything, with praise and joy, and with heartbreak and grief. But it's in those times of suffering when we need Him the most, when we need to lean on Him the most, or when we feel like we need to lean on Him the most. Because we're so desperate for Him to fix it. But if we're being honest, we're desperate for anyone to fix it for us. But we know in the depths of our hearts that things like that, certain traumas and trials that we go through, cannot be fixed by anyone. I am trying so hard to lean on God in my desperate times. I always do. I'm not saying that it's something that I can't do. I always do lean on Him. But I have a problem trusting Him. As I am sure so many of us do. It's a part of me that I want to change and I am actively trying to change. Is that when I'm going through the hardest moments of my life, I don't blame Him. I don't ask Him, why are you letting this happen? I don't question Him. I don't question my faith. It's hard to do that when you're in such deep pain. Because we're human. But if we look closely in our times of trial, in those hardships, those moments of devastation, the ones that just hit us out of left field, they come out of nowhere, and the ones that creep up on us slowly. If we just look close enough and hard enough for the good in those moments, the beauty of a flower, the strength of the tree, the majesty of a mountain, the way that the sky takes your breath away, whether it's filled with clouds or filled with stars. We can find peace in these things. All of these wonderful, beautiful things that God gave us. Natural healing for our physical as well as our emotional and spiritual bodies. But if we look to God, to Him, in those moments, and we tell Him how we feel, we can be angry, but angry with respect, righteous anger. Tell him how we feel and ask him to help us through it. And then we have to look back at all of the times in our lives when he helped us through trials and traumas in the past. I have been through so many. God has saved me so many times, even from death. Unmistakable things have happened to me, unimaginable things, unbelievable things, things that make you step back and say, I cannot believe that just happened. And those moments could only be the hand of God. It's easy when everything is going well for us. We're happy. Nothing is wrong. Everything is right on track. And we rarely think about God. But the moment the train falls off the track, that bad thing is the only thing we can think about. We forget all of those good things. All of those times, those moments when God helped us through. It's like they disappear into thin air and they no longer exist. And oftentimes, even me, when bad things happen, we start remembering all of the other bad things. I look back on my life and I often talk to God and say to him, this or that has happened to me my whole life. My whole life has been nothing but this or this, with no reprieve. And then I ask him, when will things change for me? Will things ever get better for me? And then sometimes I even say, even if it doesn't get better, it is your will. And your will be done. And I will still love you. Several years ago, I would not have been able to say that. I would not have been able to accept my suffering. I would just look at it as a constant attack on my life. I would wonder where I went wrong, and then realize where I went wrong, because I've done so many horrible things in my past. And although I have that answer in my face, I know God is not punishing me for those things. I know he's not, because I've already asked for forgiveness for as many things as I could possibly remember to name. I named each one by one, and asked for forgiveness. And almost every single one of those I have long since repented from. I know God is not punishing me for my past sins because he has already absolved me of them. And that tells me I need to stop looking back. I need to stop looking at my past and all of the negative things that have happened in my life and looking for a reason or a way to work them into the present. I need to stop being Lot's wife so that I don't turn into a pillar of salt. None of us want to suffer. We would never ask God to give us suffering. But when we are faced with it, I wish more of us could learn how to live with it, to accept it, and to learn from it. I just feel like we have a choice. That even when we're going through suffering, even when everything's cloudy, there's no sunshine, and life is gloomy, that we can choose to look for the beautiful. It's hard. It's the hardest time to look for anything beautiful when everything is so dark and ugly. But that's when we need to look for it the most. That's when we're being tested. I long to be at peace in my suffering, no matter what kind of suffering it is. But I'm learning to grow with it. I'm learning to lean on God in the everyday and ask Him to help me through it, to endure it, to give me strength and peace of mind. And He has been doing that. But if we never ask, we will never know what it's like to be strong in our suffering. May God bless you, your family,